The Women and Non-Binary Students Officers have driven campus events and created change to benefit the lives of women and non-binary students. Through events, campaigns and lobbying, the officers represent self-defining women and non-binary people on campus. They also lead the Women and Non-Binary Students Network, which is supported by a committee.
Hi there, my name is Brooke and I am here with Thea Leeming, who is running for Women and Non-Binary Officer. So Thea, how would you describe your experience on campus as a woman?
I'd say so far my experience on campus as a woman has been, it's been okay. In the past, before I came here, I didn't have great expectations because of the society we live in, but it's been okay. There have been certain small events that haven't been so great, but so far it's been okay.
And has it been these small events that's made you want to run?
Yes, definitely. These small events throughout my whole life, that's made me want to do something like this to help make a change, even if it's small.
Yeah. I'm looking at your manifesto to see what you have, what you'd like to change. Your third point, aiming to tackle sexism and transphobia within our student society here at York, it's quite broad. Do you intend on? Can you say what you mean by that?
I think we need to have conversations. That's where it starts. That's where the change happens, and it's great that we can collaborate with other like-minded people who also want to make change, but ultimately they're not the people that we need to be having conversations with. We need to be having the conversations with the people that will be uncomfortable hearing it. That's how we can enforce that change. So talking to people who don't think about it in their everyday life, don't get impacted by it, things like that. We need to, in a sense, make people uncomfortable, but in a way that will ultimately lead to progression.
Looking at another point, which I think is quite an interesting point, of having a compulsory consent course. How do you intend on being able to implement this, getting people on board to have this mandatory consent course?
Well, obviously, there's the consent course that we all take at the beginning of the year. To my knowledge, I thought that it was compulsory, but I've spoken to people since I've been here, and some of them did it later on in the year, haven't done it at all, and it just shocked me, but at the same time I wasn't surprised because of the expectations that I have, and I think a lot of people have, of some people. I think that we need to challenge that. We need to make sure that there's a fine or some sort of mandatory, compulsory sort of implication to make sure that people actually take it seriously, make sure that people do it on a regular basis so they don't forget. And I know that it seems like a tick boxing exercise, and I don't like that myself, but it's a start, and it's a slow start, but it is still a start.
I've noticed, like being head of York Vision and being on media committee, there seems to be a lack of female leadership within societies, and I think I've noticed it across campus as well. Do you have any way of tackling that?
I think letting people know, especially letting women and non-binary people know that they can live in a safe and supportive place where there should be nothing stopping them from achieving what they want to achieve. That's obviously the place to start. It will encourage women to go into these roles that they know they're good enough for, because a lot of women have reservations about their own abilities, and I want to help change that. So having more representation of women and non-binary people will definitely help encourage other women and non-binary people to achieve what they want to achieve and what they can achieve.
Lovely. So more representation then. That's great. Thank you very much, Thea. And we'll go over now to Scarlett for her interview.